Open up my eye, it was only just a dream. Let's see how this goes. Oh man, it's gonna be a little bit of a shorter stream today. They got 4 teams not playing. Dang, who are they? I know it's the. Did that before people come in. Oh, you got a viewer. Welcome, Fancy Blitz. About to get the show started here in just a minute. What up, Chili? Let's do it. Sorry, Chili, I'm just doing something real quick. Dang, who is not? It's the Packers, Steelers, Falcons. Who's the one team that's not playing? Chili, if you could let me know who are the 4 teams. I maybe just one more. I know it's the Steelers, the Packers, and the Falcons. Who's not playing? It's gonna click though. Browns, Bengals. They're all playing. Broncos are playing. Man, who is it? Excuse me. Yeah, not good. Not feeling the brightest. That can't be it. There's gonna be one more, right? Steelers, Falcons, Green Bay. Oh, I don't know. It doesn't matter because it's Thursday. Happy Thursday to those that celebrate out there. This is Fancy Blitz, and I'm your host, Elijah, or Eli, whatever you want to call me. But this time you can call me last place in fantasy football because I'm in last place in the Fancy Blitz League. So let's go over the standings before we get into any of the news. So, just going from 10 to 1. Me, a record of 1-3. I finally won a game, but that still keeps me at the bottom. Make sure you hit that like button on your way in. We need those likes. Hayden at 9, 1-3. Davis, all the way from 8 to 3 are 2-2. So very, very tight league here. Davis at 8, Chili at 7. Chili moved up 2 spots very well. Brandon at 6, Coin at 5, Ryan at 4, me at 2, Will at 3-1. He's placed at the 2nd spot, and then Dutch Lion at 3-1, who's taking over Will. The Bears, thank you very much, Chili. Golly, you're so goated. Appreciate you, brother. All right, make sure you hit that like button on your way in, guys. Appreciate y'all so much. We're going to go over some starts and sits. But first, let's do some news. The halftime show has been announced. It is Bad Bunny and is clear and obvious. Oh, man, is there a way I could, like... No, I missed out on that one. Oh, that's cool. Do like edits here. Bad Bunny is the halftime performer for this year's Super Bowl. You can really tell by this move that Roger Goodell is trying to make this game a whole lot more international. I'm all for it. I just don't think it's going to become huge. Like the NFL is great. Don't get me wrong, but I just think soccer's way too big over there. Like, that's not America for it to become a huge thing. But we'll see. A.J. Brown is frustrated, and the Lions are a potential trade option, trade team for A.J. Brown. Personally, I think he'd go well with the Ravens. I think that's a great spot for him. They pass the ball just enough. He obviously would be a great target for Lamar. And Zay Flowers is great. D-Hop is great, but they don't have a true wide receiver one. I do think Zay Flowers is solid, but I don't think it's enough. Truly. And then Xavier Howard, cornerback from the Colts, is put on the retired list after Puka's brutal beatdown. But, you know. I believe that's Russian. I can't speak Russian, so if you could translate that, that'd be cool. I'm more than glad to answer. All right, so let's get right into it. Tonight's game, Thursday Night Football. We have San Francisco at the Rams. Brock Purdy ruled out. The line moved from 7.5 to 8.5. I think that's a little high. As you know, over here we're not big fans of high lines. I'm sorry, Mexa. I don't speak Russian. If you translate, I'll do it. I can't translate though. But if you translate, I'll answer for real. Um, it's a bit of a high line, not gonna lie. But you have some studs here tonight with Puka as the number one receiver, Devontae Adams as the number 11 receiver. I have Kyron Williams also starting, but I see a potential bust in him. Um, Not just because of the matchup, but that is a factor. But also, yeah, I can't read Russian. I'm sorry. But also because of how dominant the pass game has been. Now, if they do get ahead pretty early, Kyron Williams could easily get some more carries, but that also opens up room for Blake Corum. So you never know. And then for the San Francisco side, really just Christian McCaffrey because Brock Purdy's out. Mac Jones is going to start. More production there for Christian. All right, Minnesota at Cleveland, but really it's in London. This game's at 9:30 on Sunday. I really like Quinshon Judkins, but as a flex option. So if you don't have him on your team, go ahead and snag him. Welcome to everyone in there. What's going on? Oh, thanks, Chili. Bro, it's obvious you're fluent in Russian. Let's go. Making friends out here. All right, let's go. I appreciate you, Chili. I don't know any Russian. I know some German, but that's like 2 words. Quinshon Judkins, great flex option. He's had 49 carries in 3 games, which is fantastic. That team has a quarterback issue. Maybe Dylan Gabriel can solve it. But as of right now, I think Quinshon Judkins is the best play for Cleveland Brown. Justin Jefferson, really the only Minnesota guy I would trust. This week, I like Jordan Mason, but playing the Browns, and we've seen a lot of running backs struggle against the Browns. And I think, especially on this Minnesota offense that struggles, that this would be pretty tough. So go ahead and Justin Jefferson with Minnesota. I think Carson Wentz coming in is a blessing for him. I think J.J. McCarthy's the guy they want, but just not the guy they need right now because they're looking behind a little bit. Houston at Baltimore. Baltimore's the underdog since Lamar's not playing. All right, we have Henry, Flowers, and Mark Andrews. Expect a lot of carries from Henry because I don't think they're going to want Cooper Rush to throw the ball a ton. However, Cooper Rush isn't a terrible backup, but expect Derrick Henry. And then for the Houston side, C.J. Stroud, Nico Collins, and Willie Marks. I'm not a big fan of, and I hate saying this, but like no names. They're not no names. You know, they're in the NFL. But like these under-the-radar guys having a fantastic week, and then everyone's like, oh, hop on the train. Like I think Willie Marks has like a 51% roster boost. I mean, I wouldn't drop a lot of guys for Willie Marks, personally. Now, I could be eating my words, but I just wouldn't do it. Dear, I'm not very good at spoken. Oh, okay, yeah, I can speak a little bit slower for sure. I got you. No worries. Sorry, when I talk football, I just get a little ahead of myself. But Houston, C.J. Stroud, Nico Collins, Willie Marks. I'm not a big fan of it, but if you need to start him, go ahead and do it. Flex option. I smell a trap game for sure for the Baltimore. And yes, I know they technically are underdogs, and that doesn't really mean a trap game. But what I mean by trap game is like making Baltimore 1-4. Who would have ever thought? Now, granted, their 3 losses are just some juggernauts of the Lions, the Chiefs, even though they're 2-2, and the Bills, who are undefeated. So those 3 losses are huge. I wouldn't write them off completely yet. But if they do lose this game, not looking great for a comfortable playoff spot. So we're moving on. Miami at Carolina. You know, prayers up for Tyreek Hill for real. That's tough. Devon Achane, Jalen Waddle now that Hill is gone. For Carolina, McMillan has had at least 8 targets a game all throughout the season. That's fantastic. So we're going to stick with him. He's been one of the better rookie wide receivers. If it wasn't for Emeka, he would be the number 1 guy. But Emeka Ibuka, guy's a beast. For the Raiders, Ashton Jeanty has had they're at Indianapolis. He's had his best game so far of the year. I think it was like 140 plus, around there, something like that. 112, I don't know. Hit a breakaway 64-yard touchdown, so that was like his breakthrough game. And I think it's going to continue. So Ashton Genty, Jacoby Myers, Brock Bowers. He does have a knee injury, but all the reports say there's nothing too scary, so he should be good to go. For the Indianapolis side, Jonathan Taylor, who's the number one rusher in the league. Daniel Jones, if needed be. Michael Pittman Jr. He's got 3 touchdowns. He is also hurt, but what is your? I don't know what you're talking about. Wait for 3 touchdowns. No, sorry. Wait for Friday. He's got 3 touchdowns, but his injury is just a little bit hurt. We're not all evil people. I don't know what you mean. I know you're not. I don't know. New York Giants at New Orleans. Another trap game I smell, even though they're underdogs. But for the Giants, Scatterbo, just because of Jackson Dart, again, still getting into his groove. You want to be a little bit careful there if you're going to be putting any money down. However, I wouldn't put money down on any Giants team. Zay the Rocker says hi. Hey, Zay the Rocker, welcome in. Hit that like button on your way in. We're talking some ball. For the New Orleans side, just Alvin Kamara, Chris Olave, Juwan Johnson. I'm really liking Scatterbo. Not only is he getting a lot of good work done, but he's also producing, and this team kind of rallies behind him. They really do enjoy him, and kind of changing the culture a little bit. I know that's been the whole meme. For Dallas at New York Jets, I have Dak, Williams, George Pickens, Jake Ferguson, my boy. Number 1 offense in the league. All right, Mexa, come learn some English. Maybe I'll learn some Russian. We'll talk. That'd be great. Number 1 offense, but the worst defense. So that leads me into the Jets. Justin Fields, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson. I have them because they're playing against garbage. Like they should produce, right? Russian friend Mika. Indeed. Denver at Philadelphia. This is going to be a great game. Philadelphia is playing some good teams, and if they win this week, I will be a huge believer in them winning the whole thing this year. So, we'll see. Because Denver's a good team. But for Denver, I got Bo Nix, Courtland Sutton, J.K. Dobbins only for flex. For Philadelphia, I don't know. Obviously Saquon and Jalen Hurts, but I have no idea, dude. I have no idea. Mecca, you are the best. Or are you talking about Chili? Because Chili's the best. He is. But I don't know for Philadelphia. This is really tough. I have no idea. A.J. Brown's frustrated. The pass game is just kind of non-existent, but they still win games. I don't think anybody in the fantasy football community would blame you for benching A.J. Brown. I would. I don't know. Chili said, I'm a Bronco fan, but I think the Eagles will win. I think you're right. But I expect a good game. Tennessee at Arizona. Tony Pollard only for flex. I don't have anything to say about Tennessee. Arizona, Kyler and Trey. Marvin Harrison Jr. I think Marvin Harrison Jr.'s bounce back game was huge. Yeah, Leo Nunez says Rams defense a good play today. Absolutely. Great play today. I don't expect them to give up too many points. I expect maybe a couple turnovers, but yeah, Leo, welcome to the gang. This is not a gang. Welcome to the crew. Fantasy Blitz gang, though. Make sure you hit that like button. We'd love to have you in the community, dude. We just talk ball every Thursday. Talking fantasy football, what's going on around in the league. We give picks at the end of the day. I don't want to spoil it, but we're at 72% all-time picks. Just saying. And I'm 3-1 on my locks for the week. So if you're trying to make some cha-ching, come on. Tampa Bay at Seattle. This one's going to be a great game. I really do enjoy this one because they have cool uniforms. That's been the whole talk on social media. But great matchups. Great matchups. Baker seems to be just okay. I need to put a star. Nothing too bad with his body right now, but he is on the injury list. Emeka, obviously, and Bucky Irving is out, so you're going to want... Let's go, Leo. You're the GOAT. Just subscribed. You're the best, dude. Shout out to Leo. Rashad White replacing Bucky Irving. So this is a great time for Bucky Irving to rest, obviously, and Rashad White to get his numbers up. And then for Seattle, I don't like starting Sam Darnold really just in any fantasy leagues. I know he's great, but it's fantasy football. Like, you should have a better guy than Sam Darnold. But if not, I'm not against it. I'm not doing it. But I will pencil him in. I just don't like having him in there. Kenneth Walker, though, and JSN is really about it. Detroit at Cincinnati. Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jared Goff. David Montgomery, of course, like Jameson Williams. But those are three guys I think I'm just more solid with. I think I'd like that a whole lot more with those guys in my lineups. But I have Montgomery in some leagues. Not against it. For Cincinnati, Jamar Chase and Chase Brown. That's really it. Hoping Jamar Chase gets out of this slump. I think he's been held under like 7 fantasy points in 2 games this year, which is terrible. That's why we said in Fantasy Blitz, if you're going to pick with the number 1 overall pick, go with Bijan, who has the most scrimmage yards this year. Bijan Robinson. I'm telling you. We know what's going on. Washington at the Chargers. This is a great matchup right here. Jaden Daniels, wide receiver, question mark? I don't really know, considering what's going on with some of the injuries with Debo, Terry McLaurin, not too sure, so keep an eye out for them. Zach Ertz for tight end, I think he's been great this year. For Chargers, Herbie, Omari, and wide receivers, but Ladd McConkey looks terrible, so who knows? Coin operator, yo, what's up, my guy? Make sure you hit that like button on your way in. Really do appreciate it. I've noticed that our lows or our likes just kind of low. Chili says, I live a couple blocks from SoFi. No way. I didn't see that. No way. I did not. I went to SoFi Stadium like 2 years ago. It's awesome, dude. I love that stadium. But Ladd McConkey's been lackluster, to say the least, so hopefully he can get bounce back game against the Commanders, who the Falcons had a great game, so maybe the Chargers can get their guy Ladd back in it. For Sunday Night Football, we have the Patriots at Buffalo. This is a stinker game, it seems to be, but I think New England can put up a good fight, just not a great fight. They are 8-point underdogs. But Drake May and Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry's had at least 10 points in 3 fantasy games this year, but the one game he had a stinker in was a stinker. Okay? I think it was just a point. Just 1 fantasy point. Not good. Not very good. But for Buffalo, Josh Allen and James Cook, which is surprising for the sole undefeated team in the NFL. It's just 2 guys I think you can start with confidence. If you really want to do Kincaid, I'll put him down. But not a big fan of just going outside of their like the great tight ends. You know, like Zach Ertz is going to get some good touches just because of the wide receiver situation, I believe. And Jaden Daniels is back. And I'm sorry, I can't stop stretching. But I'm all there for it if you want to start Dalton Kincaid. And last but not least, Monday Night Football, which is just an ugly matchup on paper, but it looks like it could be a good game. Kansas City at Jacksonville. Jacksonville is 3-1. Technically have the better record. And their one loss was to Cincinnati, which came down to the wire. But Mahomes, Worthy, and Kelsey, and then for Jacksonville, Etienne Jr. Maybe they can figure it out. I don't know. Coin says, Chili kicked my butt last week. Holy cow. Yeah, Chili's on a roll. Oh, yeah. So, Coin, we went over the standings. And you are, I'm sure you know, you're 5th. So, you're dead in the middle. At least not like me, 1 and 3. And dead last. But it's okay. Coin, you still got a solid team. I love it. All right, now it's time for picks. I'm not counting the Green Bay Dallas game since that ended a tie. So, I'm just going to, wave it off. But we're 45-18 on the year. Solid, very solid. 71%, 71.4% on picks, so that's pretty good. Much better improvement from last week. We went up by 3%. All time, we're 185 and 72. And then for a lock of the week, we're 3-1. We cashed with Seahawks -1.5. Kaboom. Pretty good. Leo Nunez says, who should we start between Cardinals running back? DeMarco. I think that's how you say his last name, but he's so much better, dude. I think Michael Carter's good, but I just think you're going to go with the guy that's been constantly with that team and getting touches even last week, you know. But DeMarco. I think Eder DeMarco is much better. All right. And, hey, Leo, come back next week if I'm right. I'm just saying, come back. But lock of the week hit last week with Seahawks -1.5, and I'll give it to you right now for the lock of the week. Ravens +2. I do think it's a trap game, but I have confidence in Baltimore's defense against Houston. I have confidence in Cooper Rush, and I think Derrick Henry can do well without Lamar. So that's going to be our lock of the week. Hopefully we move on to 4-1 And hopefully the Ravens can become 2-3. Let's get our picks in, though. 45-18. That's really good, I think. We could do better. I would love to get another, 12 plus, 13 plus correct pick. So here we go. San Francisco at the Rams. I will take the Rams. Minnesota or the Browns. Give me Minnesota. Houston at Baltimore. Give me Baltimore. And remember, +2 does not mean that the Baltimore Ravens are going to win. It just means they either lose by 2 or less or win the game. Miami at Carolina. Golly. That's like the battle of poop. Miami. Raiders at Indianapolis. Indianapolis. Giants at New Orleans. Give me the Giants. I think Dart Train is rolling. Dallas at the Jets. Oh, man. Their defense is just so bad. I mean, it's terrible. But I think the Jets are going to be the Jets. Dallas. Denver at Philadelphia. Philly. Tennessee at Arizona. Arizona. Why'd I hesitate? Tampa Bay at Seattle. It's going to be a great game. Give me Seattle. I think they can get it done because they have a great home presence. It's fantastic. Detroit at Cincinnati. Detroit. I was trying to think if they would blow them out. Washington at the Chargers. Give me the Chargers. Buffalo. New England at Buffalo. Buffalo. Kansas City at Jacksonville. Kansas City. Okay. I like those picks. I'm looking. The 2-3 games I can see as a trap would be Baltimore and the Giants and the Jets. I can see those going completely south. As well as Tampa Bay at Seattle. But that's not like a trap game. That's just a really good matchup. All right, y'all. I appreciate you guys so much. Week 5 in the books for Fancy Blitz. Come back next week. We'll discuss where we did. Can you cover the camera for a Lamar Jackson edit? Oh, I would love that. I'll do that whenever I dip, but I got you. Yeah, God bless you guys. Be kind to one another. And just, that's all it is. Thank you guys so much. I love y'all. Even if it's 4 viewers in here, y'all the best. Take care, and just remember, Lamar the GOAT. Peace.